Coming up next on Newswatch.
A water safety project struggles to expand its reach. More holiday drivers are getting tickets, but that appears to be a good thing.
And in sports, an Ohio women's basketball guard claims 2 Player of the Week honors. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens. This is Newswatch.
Injection wells continue to be a leading concern for area residents. Good evening, I'm Josh Gregory, and thanks for joining us. Ohio University's Voinovich School is searching for funding to expand a water sampling project. The Messenger reports the idea is to determine the current condition of private water wells near injection wells in case there is a contamination in the future. Athens County currently has 8 injection wells with an application pending for a 9th. Testing of water wells was done this fall and will be repeated next March. The Tessa Logan Legacy Fund will make grants to local schools in Athens County. Grants from the fund will allow educators to meet basic needs and encourage full student participation. The fund is named after Tessa Logan, a longtime teacher known for investing time in her students. The Tessa Logan Legacy Fund joins the Foundation for Appalachian Ohio after more than a decade of existence as a scholarship. Renowned children's author Jan Brett will be visiting the Plains Elementary School to showcase her newest book, The Turnip. According to the Athens Messenger, The Turnip is about 8 animals struggling to pull up a giant turnip from the garden as winter sets in. Brett is a New York Times #1 best-selling author. She will give an illustration demonstration while showing off her new book. The free event is scheduled for tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. at the Plains Elementary School.
Welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Ann Jacob. Now, right now we're sitting at just about 56 degrees. Now, we do see a little bit of wind out there at about 16 miles per hour. Now, those temperatures will be sticking around throughout the night, and as around the area, you can see temperatures at 50 degrees in Columbus, 50 in Chillicothe, and 59 in Ripley. Now, overnight tonight, we'll be seeing cooler temperatures, and at around 8 p.m., 49 degrees, and as we go throughout the early morning hours, we'll see temperatures even dipping lower at 44 degrees. And stick around for my extended forecast. I'll tell you if you can expect more rain for the rest of your week.
The Ohio House panel is set to hear testimony on a new right-to-work bill. The proposal would bar private employers from requiring workers to join or pay dues to a labor organization. Right-to-work laws have been enacted in 25 states. However, such proposals have not gained traction in the Ohio legislature. The supporters of right-to-work legislation have argued that the proposal would help the state attract more businesses and make it competitive. Opponents claim it would weaken unions and could lead to lower wages. Ohio officials are seeking more flexibility in work rules for those on welfare. Governor Kasich's administration says certain federal rules do not give people enough time to complete vocational training or job readiness activities. State officials say training for a number of in-demand jobs exceeds 12 months. They want to increase it to 36. The request comes as Kasich's administration seeks to better help needy families move off public assistance, and into sustainable jobs. The Ohio House has passed a bill extending foster care services to age 21. Advocates estimate over 1,000 people age out of foster care at age 18 every year. The proposal would give the state until 2017 to find funding for foster youths between 18 and 21. The bill also requires guardians to receive a state guide to guardianship. The legislation cleared the House on a 91-2 vote earlier this morning. It will now head to the Senate for consideration. Fewer motorists were killed while traveling Ohio's roadways this Thanksgiving than in recent years. According to the State Highway Patrol, 9 people were killed in 7 crashes this holiday period, which is a decrease from the past 3 years. A patrol release says 23 people were killed in 2014, while 17 people were killed in 2013, and 12 were killed in 2012. The patrol, however, made more arrests and citations than years past. U.S. Senator Rob Portman has made official plans to seek re-election next year. According to Portman's campaign, the Cincinnati Republican submitted the maximum 3,000 signatures Tuesday to the Ohio Secretary of State in order to be placed on next year's ballot. Even before it is official, the contest is among the most expensive and closely watched 2016 races in the country. Former Ohio Governor Ted Strickland is Portman's likely opponent. A new report explains what brought down Air Asia Flight 8501. And hundreds of toys are donated every year for children. This holiday season, one veteran found himself out in the cold while trying to help. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Marines are considered by many to be the toughest branch in the military, but the Toys for Tots program proves that they have tender hearts when it comes to kids. They've been collecting toys and donations to warm up the holidays for underprivileged children for decades. But one veteran in Ohio says Walmart left his efforts out in the cold. Laura DeMaria reports.
It's become a social media firestorm.
It's disappointing.
It just makes me mad. They can put them in there.
That anger is now felt coast to coast, centered here in Medina. For nearly 15 years, former active duty Marine John Harkness says he's been allowed by the Medina Walmart to stand inside and collect toys and money for Toys for Tots. But this week, there was a change.
They made us stand outside.
Thousands of donations of toys fill this room, even this warehouse is donated. But the Marines, Toys for Tots, they also rely on the goodness of people and hopefully places like Walmart to be able to make this whole thing work.
We're there to collect toys for children that need a Christmas.
So naturally, when shopper Mary Murdoch saw him standing in the cold while she was shopping, she was outraged.
And I just said, well, why can't they let you inside? This is crap.
Walmart told us it's policy, and of course, it's their right to have such policies. A spokesperson issued this statement: Walmart's corporate policy across our more than 4,500 stores does not allow this type of solicitation inside our stores, and we apologize for any confusion about this policy. The spokesperson says the current store manager is new this year, and that if the Marines were allowed in years past, that actually broke the rules. But it doesn't make Harkness or the many callers to Cleveland 19 any more satisfied.
It takes 2 seconds to do the right thing, especially when it's cold and rainy and it's the holiday season. You can put them in there.
Walmart furthered the statement with this: "If a Marine or anyone was treated with disrespect, that is unacceptable, and we are looking into this matter further to get the facts." While John Harkness waits for an apology and is hopeful for change, he is thankful for all the support. Strangers bringing him coffee, sandwiches, or even just offering that support.
It's encouraging, it's fantastic, and it's good to have the general public, veterans and non-veterans, support you.
Walmart spokesperson says the two sides have come to a compromise for next year. President Obama says he would like to see countries adhere to their commitments to stop climate change and help the environment. The president told reporters outside the Paris climate talks that he'd like to see a legally binding mechanism to ensure countries meet those commitments. He also reiterated the importance of fighting climate change in global affairs.
I know some have asked why the world would dedicate some of our focus right now to combating climate change, even as we work to protect our people and go after terrorist networks. The reason is because this one trend, climate change, affects all trends.
The nature of an accord following the Paris climate talks is in dispute. If the agreement is considered a treaty, it would require congressional approval to become binding in the U.S. Indonesian officials say both technical failure and pilot error brought down AirAsia Flight 8501 last year. The report found that a system malfunction occurred in the plane, but it was ultimately the pilot's incorrect response to the failure that resulted in the crash. The investigation, a joint effort involving Australian, French, Singaporean, and Malaysian authorities, points to weaknesses in pilot training in dealing with upsets. That's when an aircraft is angled greater than 45 degrees. The plane was headed to Singapore from Indonesia on December 28th last year when it crashed into the Java Sea. All 162 people on board were killed. A federal court in Argentina charged former President Carlos Menem with embezzlement, sentencing him to 4.5 years in prison. During his administration, the investigation found that Menem handed out several illegal cash bonuses to his ministers. His sentence also stipulates that he can no longer hold any public office. 2 ministers of Menem's cabinet were also sentenced and will spend 3.5 years in prison. More problems for embattled German automaker Volkswagen. U.S. sales of VW brand vehicles plunged 25% last month compared to the same period last year. The drop comes as Volkswagen struggles to come to terms with a growing emissions scandal. The automaker has admitted that up to 11 million diesel cars worldwide came with software that can cheat emissions tests. Volkswagen says it must recall nearly 500,000 cars in the U.S. and millions more in Europe. Since the scandal broke, VW has replaced its CEO and offered $500 cash payment to those affected in the U.S. On Wall Street today, U.S. stocks closed higher despite mixed economic data. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. And groups are asking for money. We also have a story with a lot of snow happening in Oklahoma. That story coming up.
And although there's snow in Oklahoma, I'll tell you if that snow and cold temperatures will come into our area. Stay tuned for my extended forecast.
I support one student in college with a scholarship. Just the way I want to pass on a legacy of education. I would like to pass PBS on to the next generation. I like to think that PBS is concerned with our soul. If your soul is in the right place, you're giving back.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Oklahoma is starting to thaw out after an ice storm left hundreds of thousands of residents without power. And now, check it out. The melting ice is treating residents to some really cool sights, like this imprinted ice from a speed limit sign slowly sliding down the pole. The photo has been shared thousands of times on social media. Now, Ann, can we expect any temperatures like this in the next few days?
Thanks, Josh. No, we won't be seeing temperatures quite as bad over here as we did see in Oklahoma. Right now, we're sitting at about 56 degrees, and our dew point is at 56 as well, and that means we're at saturation. That's why we saw that rain today. Looking at our temperatures for right now, we see temperatures at 55 in New Lexington, 58 down in Ironton, and a high of 59 over New Martinsville. Now, taking a look at our almanac for today, we were at a high of 62 degrees. That's a bit higher than our average for this time of year at 48 degrees. And looking at our low, we were at 39 degrees, a little higher again than our seasonal low of 31 degrees. And taking a look at your precipcast, today we did see some light showers and a little bit of warmer temperatures, excuse me. That was because we had a cold front coming through here. Now that cold front is passing through to the west, and as we see that, we're going to see cooler temperatures coming in tomorrow as that cold front filters through our area. And taking a look at temperatures overnight tonight, temperatures are cooling down a little bit. 37, excuse me, in Newark, 43 down in Ironton, and 43 in Marietta. Those temperatures are going to cool down tonight, though. Tonight we're going to be seeing 49 degrees in a couple hours, and those temperatures will only decrease as the night goes on into the early morning hours at 44 degrees. Now, looking at tonight's temperatures, we see 40 degrees as our low. We do have mostly cloudy skies and most probably few sprinkles in the atmosphere. And taking a look at your bus stop forecast, when you go out tomorrow to take the kids out for school, 41 degrees in the area. Pack them up with a jacket and some gloves. It's going to be pretty cold. The temperatures are going to be low, but it should be pretty dry, just cool and cloudy tomorrow morning. And as tomorrow the day progresses, we'll see temperatures of 51 degrees. Cooler temperatures, though, like I said, that cold front is going to push through, filtering that cool air through. And taking a look at your extended forecast, Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 40s. And as we move on to Friday and the weekend, seeing temperatures in the upper 40s and lower 50s, 50 on Saturday and 52 on Sunday. And Josh, next Monday, excuse me, we're going to possibly even see some rain. Back to you, Josh.
Thanks, Ann. With nowhere to go, a group of Cuban migrants took refuge in a strange place. What happened after one local woman heard their story?
Cuddled on the concrete, their belongings in shopping carts, this has been reality for a group of Cuban migrants that recently made it to Miami. They were living and sleeping outside of this Walmart in Doral. Lisandre has been living here since Thanksgiving, he says. His journey began with a flight from Cuba to Ecuador. Until just days ago, Cubans didn't need a visa to travel there. Now that's changed. He was part of the last group, he explains. From Ecuador, he went about 3,000 miles north. Eventually to Mexico, where he says they took a bus to the U.S., processed by immigration before taking buses to Miami. They're trying to find shelter. They don't have family in South Florida. Catholic Charities told them to come back at a later date. And hotels were too expensive, so this 3-foot wide strip of sidewalk became home. That is until Monday. This woman, a total stranger, got word of their situation and is taking all 6 of them in.
Today is World AIDS Day. The first World AIDS Day took place in 1988, just 4 years after HIV was identified. Organizers say the purpose is for people across the world to unite in the battle against HIV, show support for those living with it, and commemorate those who have died. According to WorldAIDSDay.org, an estimated 34 million people have the virus and more than 35 million people have died as a result of HIV or AIDS. The group asks people wear a red ribbon today and raise money for the National AIDS Trust. And with that, I'm going to toss it over to Kelsey Steele with your daily dose of sports.
How's it going? I'm Kelsey Steele. Ohio football announced their future non-conference schedule today. Stay tuned for a peek at some notable matchups. And basketball season is well underway at the Convo. A look into the Ohio Marshall matchup coming up next on Newswatch. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Granddaughter is named June Elizabeth, but I call her Junebug. My hope is to teach her about kindness and about the love of animals and nature. I want Junebug to have the same opportunities I had by watching PBS. My husband and I feel so strongly about our PBS station that we've included them in our estate plan. PBS is part of our values, and we want to pass it on to the next generation.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back. I'm Kelsey Steele. Ohio women's basketball senior guard Kiana Black was named MAC East Co-Player of the Week earlier today. Black was also named College Sports Madness MAC Player of the Week as well. The announcement came following a big week of play for Black, who led Ohio Friday to its first win over a Big Ten opponent since 1994. The Cats rallied to defeat Indiana 63-56 in that game. And on Friday, Black put up 17 points, 3 boards, and an assist. Saturday, Black added to her numbers with a season-high 24 points and Ohio's 3-point loss to Vanderbilt. Black and Ohio will return to the Hardwood on Thursday for an 11 a.m. tip-off with IPFW. The next 8 seasons of non-conference play will feature some new matchups for Ohio football. The Bobcats will meet 6 different conferences throughout 2023, featuring schools from the SEC to the Big Ten. 2016 features run-ins with big-name schools like Tennessee and Kansas. And the following 7 season delivers the same level of hype. Bobcat fans have Cincinnati and Pittsburgh to look forward to in the coming years. Director of Athletics Jim Schaus believes these matchups will help boost season ticket holders and fans. And Ohio men's basketball goes head-to-head with rival Marshall at 7:07 tonight. The Cats look to bounce back off of their 1-2 outing in the Paradise Jam tournament. As for Marshall, they're looking for their first victory of the season. Ohio has shot 49% from the field this season. However, the Cats are averaging 16 turnovers a game. Ohio is 59-50 all-time against Conference USA opponents, and they're looking for their 4th win in a row at home against the Herd tonight. The 7:07 p.m. tip-off is just minutes away. And 12 members of Ohio's men's and women's cross-country team claimed a spot on the 2015 Academic All-MAC teams. The honor is given to a student athlete that has at least a 3.2 cumulative GPA and has participated in at least 50% of the contests for that sport. Among the athletes named, Bradley Miller led the men's team with a 3.909 GPA, and on the women's side, Tara Tollett topped the list with a 3.95 GPA. And the red-hot Cleveland Cavaliers return to the queue again tonight, looking for win number 14 and a date with the Washington Wizards. Cavs head coach David Blatt is fresh off of an announcement earlier today that named him Eastern Conference Coach in November. In November, the Cavs shot just over 46% from the field and almost 40% behind the arc. Cleveland has 4 players averaging double-digit numbers this season, and the Cavs, they look to continue that hot streak. They go on at 7 o'clock tonight. And the NFL released its weekly power rankings earlier today, and to nobody's surprise, the Carolina Panthers take the top spot. Carolina is the last remaining undefeated team after the Patriots lost on Sunday night to the Denver Broncos. New England, who was number 1 last week, falls 1 spot to number 2, while the Broncos jump up 3 spots to number 5 after the win over the Patriots. Arizona and Cincinnati are number 3 and 4 to round out the top 5. And for the 22nd time since the Browns have returned to Cleveland in 1999, they've lost on the last play of the game. This time, it happened on Monday Night Football to the Baltimore Ravens, 33-27. And the Browns took the loss to a new level by attempting a 51-yard game-winning field goal. Baltimore blocked the kick, returned it all the way down the field for a touchdown as the game clock expired. In the loss, quarterback Josh McCown broke his collarbone and is out for the rest of the season. However, he does not need surgery to repair the break. They do have a silver lining, though. Austin Davis stepped in and played quite well yesterday, and the team still has Johnny Manziel to replace McCown. Things in Cleveland, at least for the Browns, are bleak, but as one side in red in the stands last night, at least we still have LeBron. And head coach Mike Pettin did say that signing another quarterback is also on the table. The Browns signed wide receiver / quarterback Terrell Pryor this afternoon. This is coming off Cleveland cutting him earlier this season. And I'm Kelsey Steele. That's it for sports. Back to you, Ann.
Thanks, Kelsey. And taking a look at your final weather, we're looking at 40 degrees down in tonight in Athens and mostly cloudy skies, but we could see a passing sprinkle as the night goes on. Looking at tomorrow's temperatures, 51 degrees, a bit cooler throughout the day, but still partly cloudy. You will want to grab a jacket just in case. And taking a look at your extended forecast, lower 50s and upper 40s throughout the week, but as we go into the weekend, 47, 50, and 52 over the weekend. And now back to you, Josh.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Josh Gregory. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.